Okay, this is Eric again with Auburn AV. Check us out at auburnav.com. And we're moving on to our performance window. Let's see here, we can clear all this out. I was kind of practicing here. If you want to clear out a cell, you just right click on it, hit replace. Alright, so performance window. These work from left to right, and everything in this here would cancel out. So what we try to do is we do all of our colors in here. You can set red. I made a wash scene for orange, made a wash scene for yellow, and those are all lined up here. I can only operate one in each column at a time. So you see how it moves from one to the other. So you tend to want things you don't want running at the same time. So colors would be a good one. I would tend to do solid colors here, maybe another one with mix, half of the colors or half of the fixtures are one color, the other even ones are a different color to get some color mixing in here. Positions, chases, things like that you want to cue from a button. I'll put a chase in here for you too. Alright, and I'm going to show you how I made these cues because you did this a little differently. If you're doing a cue that has all of everything in that one cue, then you would save everything. But for these, I just want the color information for the wash to be written into that cue. So this cue here only has the washes set to yellow. That's the only thing on that cue. So we're going to make one real fast. We're going to do all the 200s, 6 pars. And we're going to make a light blue. And we'll turn it on the full so that we can see it in our review. Make sure it's what we want. And then we go back over here to palettes. We're going to hit record, and we're going to do a new cue list, and we'll do wash light blue. I don't want this to have a fade in or fade out, and it's a high priority, and these are go button action ones. And I'm only recording the color. I don't want to record the intensity because I want to use that on my faders that I created. So hit record, and then we'll go over here to the performance window, and it gives you some feedback here. We're going to wash in our light blue. We're going to drag it in. So I left click on it, drag it over to where I want it, and that's how we have those set up in there. And you got the play button, hit play. This button here will stop everything in this row. This right here will play everything in that row. If you want to stop everything, you can hit stop. And hit clear all. So, in here, we're going to go, let's pretend that we have our clarity wing going. And right now we're going to have, if you look at a rig view, we'll see here that we've got all of our washes on that intensity fader there. So now all of our washes are on white. If you hit the button as a flash, we'll show you the flash so that can see. I'm holding it down, and as soon as I let go, it toggles off. Alright. Now back over here to our performance window. We have our intensity on our fader, and we want to change the color. So wash is red. If you go over here to our rig view, you'll see that they're all red. If you had the lights on in front of you, you could see them changing. And they're doing instantaneous change. I want these to change, so that way if I'm hitting here to the beat of the music, we're going red, orange, yellow, orange, red, in that fade. We hit our white one. Ah, look at there. That light blue didn't change. It has a fade on it. And that's something I was talking to you about earlier, is when you make all that, even though these aren't populated, for some reason it still does a time set, a delay or fade out. So I want to make sure that we set these to 0 when we're creating them. So when you created the cue, I skipped over that part on purpose because I wanted to show you this because it's something that I've run into, and I wanted to give you a chance to see how we would fix that. So we made all those zeros, so now they should be going straight on, but it's not. So let's look back at what we did here to this. We're doing yellow, We have 0 fade times on that. The delay should be set to 0. And still doing that. Interesting. So, and this one was easy to create. So let's see if this is what we were thinking of. So we're going to delete that cue list. Actually delete the light blue one, right? So it released it. That message was saying that I had that cue going, and they were making sure it's okay. So they just released that color. So we'll go back to palettes, and we're going to make us a yellow one. Select our fixtures, yellow, and record. And we're going to make a new cue list. Wash yellow. And this time, here we're going to set that to 0, and that's a 0. We want to do color only. That's 0, that's 0. High, yep. So record. Then we're going to do the light blue one again. Record. New record list. We'll do wash light blue. And do the same thing here, 0 and 0. It's an action button. Everything else should be the same. I don't know why they have it set where keep settings doesn't keep that. And I don't know why it defaults to 0.5 seconds or 2 seconds or whatever it is. I'm not sure why that's set that way. But that's the way it is, so that's the way we get around it. I'll go back to control booth, performance window. See it says deleted cue list there, so we'll add the yellow wash back in right here and the wash light blue back in here. And now they should be switching, see? So now, so the reason it was having that fade is because we didn't set that portion here to 0. Now this one here has a 2 fade, so we'll set that to 0. Now, so back on the performance. So this right here will start that whole, everything in that line. So if you have these arranged in a way where you've got the right color and intensity, you can have this as a full set of cues that make a look that you like. And you can also switch the color as that one's going in the time of the music. So if you have a touch screen and no console or wing, this window can be used to be very handy for running live situations for bands or something like that where you need to do looks on the fly. You can have, I would have all these set up with colors that have just colors, all these set up with just multiple color looks, all these set with positions, gobos, and every time you add one in, so let's say if I add down here and then add another one, it'll auto-populate with another column for you. And keep getting bigger, and it'll also do the same going down also. So if you hit stop all, that's the same thing as hitting release all. So that's how the performance window works. You can have a tap tempo here for any chases that you have going. You can tap to the beat of the music. You can pause, and you know it's a neat little window that's essentially used for your punting situations. You can use it in other ways too, but this is the way that I tend to use this window. And then the control booth, I tend to use that for theatrical settings, and this is more for what we call punting or improvisational lighting. So I can set the wash color and the intensity to that, and if you look up here at the rig view, it's going with a intensity chase that's a alternate. This is what they call alternating, and it's in groups of 2. So, which I don't know if I talked about in palettes, but you see these numbers here. So you'll see a chase by 2, by 3, by 4. It's a group number. So a chase would be a chase 1 fixture at a time, 2 fixtures at a time, 3 fixtures at a time. And they have preset up to 16. And, you know, same kind of thing on alternates. So it's pretty neat. Clear all, release all. So that's quick and fast on how the performance window works. Also here you can see your levels on everything that's going on. So this gives you the levels of every channel. Intensity levels are just the intensity. So you can see all those are moving right now. It gives you feedback of what the fixtures are doing intensity wise. And this gives you feedback on what the fixtures are currently set at. And then you got your timeline. If we had anything here for time code, it would run a timeline. But that's overview of all the sections that we have in here for Clarity. The next couple of videos will be getting into some more in-depth sections that are. We'll go in the control booth for setting up if you want to make some mark cues, or fade and move in black is another term for that. And also we'll make another video set just for our dynamics section, just to give you kind of an idea of how that works. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.